Okay, we're going to go over Cami today and just quickly review some of the features that they have on there. And really the best way to learn is to go ahead and play around with Cami yourself. So to sign up for an account, you're going to go to camiapp.com. You're going to click the green Create an Account button and log in with your BR Google email address. And you also want to make sure that you have the Cami extension installed. So you can do that by hitting this apps button up here if you have it on your bookmarks bar, and hit the web store, and you can do a search for Cami. And you can go ahead and add to Chrome over here. If you do not have this little app sprinkle on your bookmark bar, you can go ahead and go to google.com /Chrome or chrome.google.com, and it will bring you to this page where you can select extensions and you could type Cami in here. If you're interested in a premium feature that Cami has, you can also look for screen capture by Cami. It's not something that I use often or really at all, but that will be a feature that is in Cami, and you will need that extension in order to use it. Your students will also need the Cami extension in order to turn their work in through Google Classroom. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to create an assignment in our Google Classroom. So under Classwork, we're going to click the Create button. And under here, with our premium version through the end of the school year, it gives us the Cami assignment selection from the drop-down menu. You're going to go ahead and click on that. And it's really helpful. It already gives us a default when we add our PDF or our Google file from our drive. It's already going to, let me just grab one here. It's going to already prompt us to make a copy for each student so we don't forget to do that. That way the student is editing their own copy of the file every time. So I'm just going to click an example. I'm going to use a PDF on this. Again, you can use a Google file, slides, or a Google Doc, or a Google Sheet. And then just like any other Google assignment, you're going to make a title for it. And you can give them instructions. I like to remind the students to click the blue Cami button on the file preview to open. And you'll see what I mean later when I show you this from the student's account. It gives me also the option down here to send instructions to the students. I don't typically like to do that. It gives them two attachments on their assignment, and it could confuse certain students. And like I said, it does show you make a copy for each student. For now, though, I will check this box off just so you can see what I'm talking about as far as Cami, including the instructions for students. I'm going to go ahead and assign this to the class. And as that's loading on the classroom, I'm going to go ahead over here and I'm going to switch over to a student's view of this. So here I am in a student's view. I'm going to go to my classwork, and here's the assignment my teacher has just given me. Here's those directions that popped up, and sometimes it takes another moment for my actual assignment to come up here. So that's why I really don't like putting the instructions on, because I could see the students clicking on that and becoming confused and telling you that they don't have their attachment there. But that's up to you. I did put a copy of these Cami instructions onto our instructional technology site under the Student Resources tab. So the student would go ahead and they would click on their assignment that you gave them. And here's that Open with Cami button up here that I was talking about in the instructions. I'm going to open that as a student and wait for it to load. And again, as a student, I do have this Cami extension installed right here. This document came up really large, so up here I have the ability to zoom out by hitting this plus or minus sign. I could change the size of the document, or I can use the drop-down menu here as well. And I'll be able to see, scroll down and see this whole document, or I can make it even smaller if I would like. Let's take a quick glance at the options from this Cami toolbar here on the side. First of all, you can put this Cami toolbar on the left, or you can come down here and you can move the toolbar to the right. It's up to you and your preference. We have the select button. We don't have anything on our page to select yet or move, but you can select one thing at a time. You can also click and drag to select other things, annotations, highlighted things, shapes that you've put on there. The dictionary tool is a really great feature in the premium edition. you can go ahead and click the tool first that you want to use, and it's going to actually give you the definition of maybe an academic vocabulary word the students are unfamiliar with. So you can just double click on a word and it will give you the definitions for that word. If a student has new vocabulary in a file that you've given to them and they're not sure how to pronounce something, they could use this text to speech here. And you would just click the tool first, and you could go ahead and select that word by double clicking to hear what it sounds like.
Metamorphosis.
So it is very robotic. You can select several sentences at a time, but it does not read anything while heeding punctuation. It does not give any expression. So I don't think it's the best use of this, but it's a great tool to find out word by word how to pronounce things. But let me give you an example of what it sounds like in the sentences.
Butterflies start out as eggs. After about 5 days, a butterfly egg hatches and out comes a tiny caterpillar.
So you get the idea there. Let's go ahead and move on to the markup tool. This gives us the ability to highlight or put a strike through words or underline words. And I can also highlight things, just a whole group of things with a box. So I can pick my color first, and I can click and drag the box highlighter to highlight this image here. If I don't really like what I've put there, I can go to that select tool and hover over it, and a little menu pops up. I can change the color of what I've highlighted. I can also delete that if I've made a mistake. I can also highlight by just clicking on the text highlighter, and I can click and drag to highlight like I would in any Word document or in Google Docs. Same thing with strike through. I can even choose different colors here before I select the text, and it will strike through that. If I hover over what I've just edited, it will give me this menu, and I can choose a different color if I would like. I can also make a comment on what I've crossed out and tell the teacher why I crossed it out. And I can also delete that if I've made a mistake here. If the color that you're looking for is not here in this palette that they give you of 9 colors, you could just go down here to more colors. If you want to add another color, maybe brown is not on here, I would choose the color I would like to replace, and then I would click the color that I'd rather have instead of that color. Once I have selected the color I want, I'm going to go ahead and click the Save button, and next time I go to edit my document, that color will be available. Let's go on and look at the comment tool, which is really neat. It does give you the ability to put text comments into your file. Just select where you'd like to put the comment, just like you would in a Google Doc, and you can type any type of comment you'd like there. The student can simply type it, or they can also use speech to text on here by clicking this microphone. It will ask them to allow the microphone to work on their computer. And once they have that installed and allowed, it will begin to type whatever they say until they click that microphone again. Okay, students will use that just like they would any speech to text in their Google Docs as well. They need to speak out the punctuation in order for it to be inserted there. Students can also put in voice comments. It will start recording right away once they've highlighted and released their button. And it will continue to record until they click this stop button here. And they can play it back. It will start recording, and you'll be able to see this comment from your view as well. Same thing with the video comment. They select where they want to put that in, and it will start recording them right away. And I'm going to hit done, and there's my video. So my teacher will be able to see that. Adding a text box is just as simple as choosing the font size and the color, and then clicking where I want to put it in. And then up here, it's a little hidden, but it gives me this text box, this text menu here, where I can select a different font, a different size here. I could fill it in. I could use all the tools that I usually have under my text options in other programs. And I can also add links, maybe a student citing where they found information. They can go ahead and link it right there. As far as the equation tool goes for science and math, let me go ahead and add another page by hitting this plus sign down here. And you know what? I'm going to show you, you can put lined pages and graph paper as well as music sheets here. So I'm going to add a page and just wait for that to pop up. It will load, and then I'll just scroll down to get to that. Sometimes the page comes up as big as the other one, and other times it comes up pretty small. I actually have not figured out why it does that yet. It kind of seems to be luck of the draw for me. But as far as the equation, again, just like a text box, I can click on my font size and what color I would like it to be, and then I can click where I would like to place my equation. So it will give me quick shortcuts like I could put an x over 5 using the slash. I would then use my arrow keys to go between the numerator and the denominator, and the right arrow key will bring me out of that fraction, and I can use the keyboard to continue typing my equation. If you're not sure of the keyboard shortcuts you're looking for, you can go ahead and begin your equation, and you can click this Insert Symbols button over here. If I'm looking to add a subscript, I can start typing in subscript, and it gives me some options here. Once I click on that, I want to make sure that I'm back in this text box. I could click on that symbol, and I could go ahead and put my subscript in. I would just go ahead and click my right arrow key to get back out of that again, and I can continue to put my subscripts in there. You can search for several other symbols under here, and if you hover over them, it will tell you what the symbols stand for if you need to know. Recently used symbols will be saved in green at the top of your equation symbol search. If I want to draw, I can choose strokes thickness here. I could freehand draw it using my mouse, my touchpad, or a touch screen. Again, you're going to choose the color like you did before. You can also choose the transparency. If you're trying to highlight something, you can make it lighter or darker as you wish. Shapes is where you can find several shapes and also the line. So I can put lines on my page. If I hold down the Shift key, it'll give me nice 90-degree and 45-degree angles that I might be looking to use. And then we have an eraser tool here. I can also insert images from my computer, from my Google Drive, or I can even search Google for an image. And I can select that. It will move along with me until I click, and it will drop it down on the page. If I hover over, I can make it bigger or smaller. And if I hover over, I can also crop the image if I would like to. Once I am done with my assignment as a student, I would turn it in here, click the Turn In button. And then as the teacher, let me come back over here. I go under classwork, and I'm going to click on the assignment that I would like to grade. I see a student has just turned it in, and I can go ahead and open that up here. Right here, it has a grade with Kami option. I'm going to keep that checked off so that I can make sure to see all the students' recordings and listen to their audio notes that they've added. And you can see that those are right here on the side. I could play those over here. It will start. I could also comment back to the student. I can even, now as a collaborator on this document, I could go ahead and put my own video comment on the student's file here. I could then grade the student's document, and then I can even add a private comment, which will be seen under their grade on Google Docs. They'll just have to hit that comment icon in order to see your comment. Just make sure that you hit post once that's there so that they will be able to see that on their end. Once you're done grading it and giving them those comments, you can return it to the student so that they can see their grade on Google Classroom. Thanks for watching.